Hello, hello, papitos. How are you doing, guys? Now we are
Good.
separate again, but the three musketeers are back anyway on Zoom, and we all have different
Forever
backgrounds.
together.
Very, very funny. So, guys, yeah, for this podcast, let's start as usual with meditation, and then we'll start talking about our deep subjects. I hope the one listening really liked our last episode. It was very interesting about commitment, and today we'll have another topic, beautiful topic. So yeah, guys, let's as we are also in online and we are a bit separated, I think this meditation can really help us to connect together. So
Before we start, can you guys hear the dogs in the background or no?
No.
Okay, perfect.
No.
Like safety first.
Can you guys hear the horny girl on my bed? Like moaning?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
don't mind it.
Okay, just to be sure. Okay.
No judging, you know.
Okay, Davito as well. Let's take a nice deep breath from your nose. Make your belly big and exhale the air from your mouth. Just relax. Let go of all the stress, all the expectations, the anxieties from the week, or for the future. Exhale it as you are blowing the candle and let it go. And take also a deep breath from your nose to inhale all the positivity, strength, and open mind for this beautiful discussion now. We feel more relaxed, more calm, more present with each other. When you feel ready, you can just open your eyes and you can start the podcast. And we can do a nice high five, even though we are separate. So I can do a high five to Nevin. I have to do it like this.
Wait.
Slow.
Hello, down.
Wait. I'm up.
Wait.
It's confusing.
Because I'm on the top right. Yeah, I don't know. I can high
No,
five.
me, I'm not the same as you. I'm on the right.
Whatever, guys. We tried. we
So
tried.
yeah, just, yeah.
Big high five for everyone.
Wait, we do the virtual clapping. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel, Papitos? Good? More relaxed, no?
Amazing.
I feel,
Very
more
beautiful.
present too.
I love it.
Thank you so much, bro, for guiding us.
I actually feel inspired today to talk about a very important topic. I sent a voice note about it, but I believe it's essential that we break down Papi. What does it mean to be a Papi? What is the identity behind being a Papi? Why should people listen to 6 hours of these guys talking? Is it just for fun? Or do we have an intention, an identity that we would love our listeners to be able to embody so that they may experience more success, more bliss, more connection, more love in their life? Because I believe that we live in a world full of pigeons, full of people doing exactly what they are told to be do, but we can be a flamingo. We can stand and we can live out our true purpose in life. But it means going against the crowd. But I believe that the Papi has a lot of traits to this identity. So I would just want to really know from both of you, so all our listeners can also listen to, what does it mean to identify as a Papi? right? Because
Yeah.
maybe people think Papi, oh, it's like Papi Chulo is this person that has a lot of girlfriends, or because it might bring confusion, or I mean just a dad. But in our opinion, why did we even call this show the Papi Podcast in the first place? I believe our listeners deserve to know more about what this identity actually
Yeah, sure.
means. So I
I
give
think
this.
we covered it a bit in one of the episodes, but we can explain again. I think it's important. You're right. I think Papi for me it's to be able to provide for the people around you, people that you love, even for the society in bigger scale. It would be like to provide really for the countries, or I mean for the cities, the countries, and then like the whole world. But provide, but also like put people secure, like feel them safe around. It's like you're a big pillar, no? Like you have, let's say, a Greek temple. You know, the Greek temples. You have the big pillars that is supporting the structure of the building. And I think we need these pillars, and this for me is like Papi, you know. And then of course you have the roof or like the other part of the building, and this can be people. It can be people that you love. It doesn't have to be everyone. Maybe doesn't have to be a Papi, but we need these pillars. You know, these people that are stay strong. Otherwise, the whole building fall, like it breaks if you remove these pillars from the building. So this for me is how I see it. And what about you, Flo? How do you see it?
Yeah, so I remember when I moved to Barcelona, I had no idea what the puppy was. I don't speak Spanish. I should. I'm ashamed, but of course, we started, or you guys started calling me, and we started calling each other puppies, and it was just a joke, of course. But then when we created the podcast, it became so much deeper. And then I remember we talked about this, why we want to call the podcast puppies and what it really means. And for me, the puppy is the male role model figure. The puppy is the also masculinity, But when I say masculinity, it has nothing to do with gender, right? It's the masculine energy, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. And we all have both energies inside us, and the masculine is the leader, right? And this is what we want to promote here on the podcast also, how to be a leader, not just as a man. So I'm not just talking about men. And yeah, leading means also creating the life you truly want, who you want to become, what you want to achieve, what your values are, where you're going in life. And yeah, for that you need to be a leader, and that's what the puppies are, and that's why we are here for.
Yeah.
Really beautiful, man. I love how Flo worded it. I can relate. I wrote down leadership, caregiver, creator, decision maker, like creator of circumstances. And I want to share with this, like, what is not Papi? Let's make it like this, because people, human beings, we are amazing at also knowing like negatives, right? So what is not being a Papi? A Papi is not being responsible for your actions. It's being irresponsible in a sense. It's going to party every weekend thinking that you're being cool, but actually you're being irresponsible with your health, with your time, with the people around you. I believe a Papi is also making sacrifices. You sacrifice certain things in order to keep your commitments and to grow and be a stronger man, a powerful man. A Papi is somebody that builds a family. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to make some kids now and make a family. But I have a family. The book club, it's one of my families. The business, all my clients, they're part of a family that I built. And I choose to be the Papi of the family, the one that takes care and keeps things under control, make sure the bills get paid. The Papi is the one that when everybody looks to the right to avoid the problem, the Papi looks the problem dead in the eye and say, I'm going to take care of it. I believe that this is a Papi identity. And again, we can also say it's a mommy identity. Good. I know it's not only for men, but it's just you being in control of your circumstances, because the world is going to be everywhere, but you need to
also
guide.
being there for others, because I think a Papi is also here for the others. So I give you an example. Let's say this is something I love doing is, let's say someone comes to my place, or you have this also, Nevin, when when I go to your place sometimes, you're here and you bring me food, you take care of the people, in your house. You don't like of course maybe most of the people do it, but I mean what I mean is like really being here for the people that you invite to make them feel good in your place. You invite them. You're here to provide. You're the papi of the house. No, you're making people feeling feeling provided in your when you invite them. And I think
Safe,
this is important, and safe.
Yeah.
And not someone that is running away, or not someone that is in the shadow, or tricking, or how to say, also like putting knives in the back, like to saying bad stuff around other people. Someone that is respectful. I think the papi is someone I respect, someone that is respectful. Something I think papi is something that you. Also, I think being a papi is something that you earn, and not something that you get or that you become. It's something that you earn from others, maybe, in a way, because it's being a papi. I think it's related to other people. It's not only about you. It's also people have to see yourself as a papi. They perceive you as a papi, like as the provider and the guy that you are. I think it's also
It's how you show up, right? How you show up as a person.
But also, I think you earn it. No, it's a title that you earn it. It's like, I don't know, like when you're a leader of the group or something, you don't proclaim yourself a leader of the group, or you don't like proclaim yourself the leader. It's like people put you as a leader. You're chosen. It's like in the same as election, or I mean, it's the same with social stuff. People put you as the leader because they believe you, they love you, they trust you, they respect you. So that's why they say, "Oh, I will choose Nevin as my leader," because someone that most people respect, and I will put him as a leader. No, so it's not something that really that you get or that you attract. It's not something that you can get like this. It's something that you earn from others. That's also what I see, a bit. But maybe I'm wrong, but it's something that we don't outsource.
Yeah, 100%. No, I just wanted to say, of course, you earn it. The way you show up, and then how other people perceive you. But it's also a identity you create for yourself, right? Like, I am this person who is going to take care of others, who is going to lead, who's going to make others feel safe and provide and take responsibility, right? So first, it starts, of course, with creating this identity, and then acting out on these values. And
you're right. It's a feedback, no? It's a consequence.
Yeah.
I would say that both of you are right. Both of you are right, guys. That it's both something that is given to you, the title, it's something that you earn, but it's also an identity that you embody before you can receive the title. So I believe that both of you have righteousness, but also I believe that the podcast that we are creating now is part of helping the alchemical process that needs to take place within your soul, because all of these subjects that we're talking about, commitment, spirituality, all of these are the founding blocks, internal founding blocks that you need to work on in order to first take the identity, and then also after expressing this or living in this way so that other people may see you and identify you as a papi. But it's easy to say, oh, I'm the papi. Hey, I'm suddenly a papi now. But you're insecure. You're not a man of your words, a woman of your words. You don't take action. You let people boss you around. You don't know what you want in life. You have no desire. You're flowing. That's not a papi. So it's also about creating a way of living. It's very deep. It's like a whole feng shui. It's like I'm a vegan. No, I'm a papi. Maybe I do eat meat, both human meat and animal meat, and that's just part of the identity. So Tom,
I wanted to say, I love history. I really love also history. Well, I love many subjects, but history is very interesting. And if you look in the past, like the biggest leaders, they got like leadership from two ways, or from the respect of others, like because as we said, the papi, and they've earned this leadership from others.
Yes.
Let's say they've earned it from the crowd, because they were the most courageous, or they lead people. Let's say in wars, in the past, I mean, even in the medieval age, in the very old, like really old history, because it's like heroes, like the heroes of the wars, they've earned the respect from the army, or they've earned the respect from others. But also you have another kind of leadership which is kind of dictatorship, or it's like being imposed, where the leader has been imposed, let's say from royalty, let's say, like they say that because the royals, kings, they imposed their dictatorship, their leadership or dictatorship, but a bit from, not really from respect from others, but more from they say that they are son of God, etc. Like it's a bit maybe imposed, or even most recently like Hitler, or like these big like dictators, where they imposed their a bit their leadership. And I think it's interesting to talk about it, because I think being a Papi first is being a leader, and I think it has to be also by getting respect from others, not to impose, not to say I am not also imposing too much. I mean, you have to be strong as a Papi. You have to be also be able to be strong, etc. But it doesn't have to mean that you're a dictator, and that you're here to boss people around. You're here to listen, to be respected. I don't know, that's what I see leadership as. I think that one of the best way of leadership is doing it like this, not trying to impose too much.
I love it. I wrote down, being a Papi is somebody that practices the right use of masculine energy, the correct, the more efficient, effective use of masculine energy. Because I love, as you were sharing about the dictatorship, also what came from me is that there are a lot of men out there that attack women. It's almost like a dictatorship, how the way that they go along with the art of seduction, the game of like, and the way that women are being treated. And I wanna open up this topic. Let this be a controversial podcast so everybody comes to listen. But it's also, a Papi is being surrounded by beautiful women and still knowing that you are an anchor of trust, of value, of power, and that you are an attractive force, and that you don't need to take anything, or that you need to dominate, or you need to be walk like you're Godzilla, or no. It's being a man of honor and knowing that you can attract things in your life, but you also have to take action, of course. But indeed, it's not being a dictatorship, but it's being Papi. It's being the Papi. Yes, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
So yeah, man, I love this topic about leadership. I really love guys talking about this. But maybe we can brainstorm a bit, like together. We can ask, how can you like really get the respect of others? Or as we say, you have the dictatorship, or like people that get it from force, or they impose a bit their power. Or also you have the leaders that get it from the crowd, like from the others. But how do you get this? How can you get to this role, or to being a Papi, as we said? How do you get this respect from others?
I can start if you want, guys. I have a nice something that just came up. So yeah, for me, definitely when I look back on my life, I never really felt like in my first 30 years respected. And then it took me pretty much 30 years to realize why, because the universe, is always mirroring you, and I wasn't respecting myself. So I wasn't really showing up for myself. I wasn't really doing what I said I will do, and I wasn't really taking responsibility for my actions. And that was one of my biggest learnings a few years ago, that respect, if you want to be respected, you have to respect yourself first. So this is I think really deep, at least it was for me, because it changed my life, the way I looked at the things I did and said, and just the way I showed up for myself. And when I started showing up for myself, I felt respected by others. And so it also changed my life completely.
That's a good point. I think, because I love also sports in general. And if you check a bit like the football, or if you check, you have the captain of the team, you have like the leader of the team. And sometimes there are different reasons why this person becomes a captain. And I think one of the first reasons is because of, first, by this pure skill, by the pure quality of, let's say, you are playing a team in football, the best player, let's say you have someone that is playing so good, you like indirectly you will put this person as a leader because he's the best in your team in terms of skills, like hard skills. So this also can be one reason to get respect, or to get the leadership of a team, let's say even in a job or something, because you are you are the best, in what you're doing. It can be a way. But also Also, you have some people that are leaders because they put people together, or they create. There are the links between people. They are here to encourage others, or you have different ways of being the captain or being the leaders. What do you guys think? Because I don't. Maybe
Being
there's
the
a third
Papi.
one. Yeah, maybe there's a third one, but it's true, no? Like, but sometimes the skills is not only like the only way to get the leadership.
So I think I want to marry everything we talked about in the previous episodes again to this topic, where it comes to who do you learn from to be a leader? Who do you choose as the example of a leader? Do you choose Ozuna? Do you choose Bad Bunny? Do you choose Post Malone? Do you choose these gangsters full of face tattoos and teeth that have the yacht and all the girls booty shaking behind them? Are they the leader that you aspire to be? And this is the problem where these leaders leading people to hell is what people are looking up to. And the real knowledge on how to be a papi, guess what? It's locked away in this secret thing called books. And I believe one of the main reasons we're here together as well is because all of us, we connected from the book club. We started to read books and we started to realize that there is a different way. And that this masculine energy that especially the men carry around, it's not that because we're hunters or we have to constantly be making noise at women and all of that. No, it's that we have this powerful creative force that we can use to build, to take care, to provide, to make our societies grow. And this is like, how do you tap into this energy? How do you take your masculine energy to the next level instead of just being a dog, or instead of just booty shaking in the nightclub, and actually being somebody of value that can provide, that can create. And guys, what I'm sharing here, I'm not trying to bash at anybody. I'm talking about Nevin just 7-10 years ago. I'm talking about myself. This is my thoughts 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And what changed? Now, identifying as a papi is I'm running a successful business. I have love in my family. I have amazing friends all over the world. I've been with the most beautiful women that you can imagine. And all because I chose to be a real papi and not just to be a wannabe copying somebody out there trying to be like with the yacht and the things, because it's all fake. It's about values. It's about learning
That's what
how
we
to
thought.
keep your word.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it.
About the role models now when we had the podcast about the role model. It's really connected. Yeah.
I want to mention something, because obviously you mentioned all these booty shaking girls and the guys who are I don't know, following these, I don't know, Ozuna and whatever. And it's there's no right or wrong. I'm not saying there's right or wrong, but I think so everything in life starts while we are growing up with the relationship with the family, with the parents, of course. And a lot of people, a lot of men who are not really taking responsibility, they are living kind of like I don't want to judge, like I said, there is no right or wrong, but they're living some kind of life, and yeah, they are not really showing up for themselves. It starts with the father figure. So I had this, right? I grew up without my dad, so I never had this father figure in my life, the role model, and I never really learned how to become a man. Also, the connection with my masculine energy was off. And yeah, I think this is where, so those people, I'm just talking to those men out there who are struggling with showing up for themselves, who are struggling with taking responsibility of their for their lives and for decisions and health, relationships, whatever it is that a lot of times it helps when we go back in time and look at our relationship with our parents, especially with the dad, as a man. And then we can maybe analyze, maybe reflect on what went wrong, what was missing. And from there, you can heal your past. If the relationship with your dad, for example, is not healed or not healthy, because this unhealthy relationship with the parents, with the family, with your dad, for example, can actually ruin and influence your present. And so I think that's something most people, men, should look at. I did it for myself, and I healed my relationship with my dad, and it was a really beautiful experience, and it really changed my life in the last year. So that's how it starts. I feel like whenever we look, especially as men, when we look at masculinity and being a leadership, is what role models we have. And of course, it starts with the dad figure in the family, and then growing up, we get to choose who else we want to follow, who else we want to look up to. But yeah, you know, there is no right or wrong, I'm not saying, but it's definitely worth
Also, I wanted to mention something, guys, that I think also not everyone wants to be a leader, and not everyone wants to be a papi, because it depends on your ambition in life. You know, it depends on what you really want to achieve in life. If you have very, very big goals, well, you might need to be a leader, because let's say you want to have a business, well, you will be automatically the leader of your business, or of your team, of your employees, just by nature, because you are the owner. So even if you're not charismatic or anything, just by the position you have, you will be the leader anyway. But I mean, so then if you are in this position, you need to embody this leadership. You need to embody this identity of being a leader. But I mean that maybe there are some people that don't have this ambition, and it's totally fine. You know, it's totally fine too. But yeah, it depends. I think it depends on your ambition and on your goals and on your vision also. And that's all what I wanted to mention, because also I felt that that now we're talking about leadership, being a papi, etc. But also not everyone wants to be doing this, because it's also, as you say, Nevin, it also requires sacrifice. It requires to be like really responsible, and it's not easy work. Also, in a way, I mean, mentally, it's also like mentally it's not easy, because you are responsible for people. People look up to you. And if you fucked up, let's say, if you fucked up as your owner of the business, if you fucked up, the whole company and everyone is fucked up, you know. So it's you have a lot of responsibility. So I think this is also it can be a beautiful thing, but also it can be a curse if you are not really prepared mentally to do it. And if you don't have a strong why, as we talked also last time. Yeah.
I just want to mention something, because yeah, of course, like being a papi has nothing to do with status, right? So we're not saying that you need to be a businessman and earn millions and billions and trillions of dollars. It's about taking responsibility for your own life first, first and foremost. So yeah, that's a good take. And yeah, not everyone has to be a businessman or earn a lot of money, but taking responsibility for your own life, your own health, relationships, friends, you know, whatever, is indeed our own responsibility. Like no one else is going to take responsibility for your finances, your health, and all these things. Of course. So yeah, I just wanted to mention.
No, but what I mean for is like not even in business, but let's say as a dad or as a father, or let's say you're the father of your family. There are many men also that don't take this responsibility. They don't do their job as a man. But no, you don't have to be blaming. You don't have to blame them, because also it's not an easy job. No, you are the one that is, as I said, you're the one that if you fucked up, everyone comes to you. If like you have much more pressure in this way, because you're the pillar. Like, so, let's say you are the pillar, but if you're not stable and if you're like this, yeah, the whole building is falling. So you need to be strong, you know that, and it's not for everyone. But I think that's why I don't blame people or men that have not been doing this, even though we are empowering them to do it. But I also understand that it's not easy. It's not the easiest thing to do. What is your take, Nevin, on this?
Yeah, no, I wanna first stop for a moment to put emphasis on what Flo said as well.
Yeah.
About the father, not just the father role, but the real father, like your biological dad, for the guys out there listening, but also the girls. If your dad did not understand these concepts of discipline, understanding what it really means to be a papi, because not everybody that gets a kid or makes a child really embodies the identity of being a papi. Let's say you might have a shortcoming during your growing up. You know, I don't know how to voice it to not hurt people, you know, but if I look at my dad, my relationship with my dad, Flo, I also am currently in a healing process. Because if I look at my behavior and how I drive myself, I often look at my dad in a judgmental eye and say, dude, you can do better than that. You can be more ambitious. You can let people give you less shit and take more responsibility of your life. You can do less excuses. Like I swear, I had this conversation with my dad just 2 days ago. but it's also at the same time also being grateful and accepting him fully, fully as he is, because only then can I accept myself as I am. And it's so powerful how our mother and our father have an immense influence in us. They are the ones that programmed us. So we can change codes, but they made the base coding. So it's such a powerful journey of not only building a positive relationship with yourself, but also with your dad, with your mom, with this family aspects of it. So I really love it. And what Tom said, I fully agree. Not everybody is sitting out there wishing to be a leader. Some people really just want to be let alone and want to have a very simple life. They would love to just have a simple job. They get instructions, they go home, they watch TV, they go to sleep. And this is 80-90% of the world. And I bless you. Please keep listening. This might also bring a lot of peace and love in your life. But specifically, I am also here on earth for the 10-20% of people that know that they have so much more to give, to create, to build, and need to embody the Papi identity. So this is very, very powerful to note, is that being a Papi is not the default. It's not the automatic way. It's not the most easiest thing to do. Being a Papi is going against the crowd, against your emotions, against your earthly needs of just wanting to jerk off and say, no, I want to practice sexual transmutation. And instead of just wasting my sexual energy, I want to charge it and push it into my business, push it into my body, push it into growing. And it's not the default. Again, it's taking things to the next level, being a Papi. And I see Flo, I see him taking things in his life to the next level. I see Tom constantly taking things to the next level. And that's why they earned in my life the title that I can call them, hey, Papi Flo, hey, Papi Tom, because I see them constantly growing and constantly moving there. And why I think it's important is because, guys, I wish from the bottom of my heart that 7 years ago, I could have found a podcast like this and that could break me down and explain to me what it really means to live and to create and to be a man. Because it doesn't mean to have the most girls or to just have the biggest balls or the nicest car. It's none of that. It's you being able to keep your promises. You being able to be somebody that you can trust. Because if you grew up and not really trusting your mom or your dad because they lied to you, they didn't really do what they say they would do, they didn't show up for you like they promised they would, it's your opportunity to do it different, because there's enough people running the same cycle, repeating the same BS over and over again, passing it on to your child. No, it's up to you to stop it. I'm not gonna choose to be a Papi and not just be a waste on this earth and just let my life flows away. So I really believe it's a very powerful identity shift, guys, that we're giving a lot of people the opportunity, guys and girls, because guess what? Guess who will have the most benefit of the world of more men standing up as a Papi? Guess who? Guess who? The women. Because the women are tired of men being lazy, of not keeping their words, of lying, of manipulating, while we are here to protect the women. So, Papis, are you ready? Are you ready to step in?
Yeah, of course. Well, no, it's a very powerful what you say. You're right, but it really helps a lot of women. A lot of women want also a man like a Papi. They look for this.
I think
feeling more safe. Yes, safe and peaceful.
The last thing I want to just note, this is like more organizational note. I want to just do live as well in the podcast. Guys, we were talking about inviting somebody on here. I think we should invite a girl on here to open up and also change the energy, but to also let somebody, a female energy, explain to us, because we're men seeing, oh, this is Papi. But also, what does a woman expect, desire, and want from a man? Because I think a lot of guys have that very, very confused. So just a note, the coming weeks, we can invite somebody. We have a lot of coaches in sexual healing and stuff like this. So yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, no, I think it's important but to embody identity. It can be a Papi or any other kind of identity. It's really important, especially because also we are spiritual beings, and also we believe. We say that, oh, I'm more than what I think I am, but also what you think you are is also important. So I think it's both. So because also this also happens, no, in spirituality in a way. Like people, they say, yeah, I'm God, or I'm not like I'm more than what I think I am, etc. But also this identity is very important to have it, but you can shape it as you wish. I think this is also what is important. I don't forget what I mean, but it's like to not have any identity. It's a danger. I think it's dangerous because you have no guide and you have no you have no guidance, no, of who you are. Even though you know that you are more than what you think, still you need to have an identity. You need to have a name. You need to have a name. You need to
Why
have
I believe this is important, Papito, is because if you don't have an identity, somebody else will come along and give you an identity. And maybe it's not the one that you're waiting for, not the one that benefits you.
It's actually like this already. People give you an identity because you didn't choose your name. No, it's your parents that gave you your name. Your nationality also, you didn't choose it. Everything that makes part of your identity in a way you didn't choose. But the power is to choose it, yeah. But not to deny your identity also, you know, because I think now there is maybe a movement, I don't know, but where it's like denying a bit the nationalities, and I don't know. I think it's also important to have nationalities and to have countries because, of course, we are human beings and we are part of the world. And maybe you can say I am French, but maybe I'm more. I am a human in this planet. I'm not only French. Of course, I am maybe more than a French, but still having the identity and the culture is also important. But yeah, you know what I mean? We cannot also erase all the nationalities and saying we are one big earth. Or maybe it could, maybe it will happen, but I don't know. But yeah.
It's just what makes the world so beautiful because it's so diverse. We have a French Papi here, an Aruban Papi, a Hungarian, and just so much diverse thoughts, ideas. Like one of the things that has made me the richest man on earth is cultures and understanding cultures. Is I'm rich in the understanding of culture and people and languages. This is the most beautiful thing that you can have, this treasure, knowing that Flo is from Hungary and he speaks a different language. But this guy, even though I can learn so much from his culture, is the same love that beats his heart, that beats my heart. While I was born over 100,000, well, I don't even know if the world is that big, but like 100,000 kilometers away, all the way in Aruba, and still we can be so aligned. And that's the beauty of it, because I believe being a papi also is having cultural awareness. It's also understanding that you're not the only one on earth and that not only your country is the best or the only one or the least good one, but just really understanding that we are all a happy family together and you can be a papi of this happy family we call Earth. We call the Mother Earth because we're all taking care of Mother Earth. We're all providing for Mother Earth. We're all committed to keeping this place into a beautiful Earth. Because also one thing that we didn't even touch upon, guys, there's a lot of social problems, but also the Earth 2023, I experienced the most hottest summer ever in Aruba this year. And it's because there are certain processes that we have set, industrialized, that are currently on a crash collision course with our Earth. Our Earth is in danger. And guess who's gonna save them? The papis of the Earth. This is who's gonna save the Earth, not the people just standing by and watching stuff happen. And this is why it's important that we're not just here to make ourselves rich or to just, but we are here as part of the Earth, as blood and skin, part of this Earth, connected with spiritual. So let's say the gods gave us the task of taking care of the Earth, but we need to embody a powerful identity in order to do this. We are caregivers. We're here to take care, not to just destroy and to conquer and to take, because it's breaking us apart. You see the big corporations, they're only focused on money. Money is important, but believe me, values are more important. Continuity of our species is more important. Continuity of love, of growth is more important than just money. And this is also important to touch upon.
Yeah, you're right.
100%.
But I don't know. I think, as you said, I don't know. I like cultures and I like identities. And I think, I don't know, maybe I'm between because I feel I'm also a spiritual person, and also I see you, Nevin and Flo, as a soul. I see you as, we are the same in a way. We are humans, but also we have differences. And I think, as we said, I think it's important to keep them, and not to say to fight for them, but to try to keep them,
Present them.
like to especially I don't know, but let's say in France you have like you have different regions with different like culture, with different way of with different food. I don't know, different recipes, different food, different sometimes language, or not language, but like accents, dialects or accents. And I think it's important to keep them because it's what makes us
unique.
What makes unique, or also you keep the culture from the ancestors, and you're perceiving, you're keeping a bit the tradition. And maybe I'm old school on this, but I think it is what makes us interesting. Because if we are all the same, it's not really interesting. If we are all the same, it will not be so. Even though in essence maybe we are all the same, but we are not. We all think differently, and we all have different backgrounds. And I think this is what makes life more beautiful. And I think now there is like there is a movement in the politics, in the mind, in the beliefs generally, where it's trying to put people in the same box, or trying to uniform people, to put people as a uniform. And this especially in clothing, for example, if you go to France, or if you go to Spain, or if you go to the US or whatever, there is always the same brands, no? Like you have Zara, you have Bershka, you have all the time the same brands, and everyone has the same iPhone, everyone has the same Netflix, everything is using the same things, which also is also nice, because I don't know what you think, guys, but it's interesting. We all have the same clothes, no? We all wear the same, all have the same phone, and I don't know. Maybe it's not. It's putting us as a robot, or I don't know. I don't know. This is my thought. I had. It's a bit a different subject, but I think it's interesting.
For me, just it was when you said the word uniform. For the first time in my life, I was able to first just listen to uni. It's like maybe it's unify, or it's to just single out, and then form is to format. So then I Googled uniform, and it means, so uniform literally means the first meaning, remaining the same in all cases and at all times, unchanging in form or character. Just somehow love to break apart words and break down, because now they want to uniform us in a way as well, but we are not uniform. We are all these tribes. Look, I'm from an Indian tribe. Let's be serious. Like I have like brown skin, I have like an Indian nose. I'm like a Native American. From his French, he eats baguette, he eats fragois, he eats a lot of cheese. I love going to his house because I can eat all these amazing cheeses. Flo has a completely different culture, has more meats, completely different language. I can hear Flo speak and not understand anything, and it's intriguing to me. It's like, whoa, I'm interested. And I really think that also part of this identity, Papi, just being you, is accepting where you're from. Fully loving and accepting where you are from, embodying it, and knowing that it's a superpower that you have this brown skin. Because at once in a part of my life, when I went to the Netherlands, for example, I looked at myself in the mirror, I saw all these blonde people with blue eyes, and I felt somehow bad that I was in this body, that I was an Aruban, and that I was a minority. Fuck, man, was I wrong? I'm not a minority. I'm unique as fuck. But you can have so many mixed emotions around your culture that can really hurt yourself, your ego, your heart. And I think it's a beautiful topic, Tom, that you mentioned. So
it's a bit different, but I like to talk about this. Maybe it's a bit controversial for the people, but I think it's what makes this podcast nice also.
Go.
Maybe I will say something very controversial, but I think
go.
that we get uniformed by maybe from the Western. Let's say we are in the Western of the world. This is getting uniformed Why? Because it's easier to control people. It's easier because, I mean, as you imagine, you have one identity, and I have, as we say, we have the Papis, but let's say we are the one creating a bit this uniform, no? Or this, we are creating this identity. And for this, you have leaders, or you have people in charge of this uniform, of this identity. And now, as I mentioned, let's say Apple, or I mentioned Amazon, or all of this, now these companies are even more stronger than governments or countries. And they are the leaders of the world. And so they need, it's like a new uniform. I don't know if you see what I mean, but also by uniforming people, by people in the same uniform, and a bit disturbing the differences in between people to make them like the same, you get only a few people in charge of these people. I mean, it's like you're removing leadership.
Control.
Yeah, it's easier easier to control, and also it's only for few people, for less people than it was before. Because let's say in the past, let's say you have the king of France, then you have the king of Spain, you have the kings of everyone. But now we have the European Union, which is, I don't know, it's maybe, guys, it's a bit political, but it seems very interesting that now it's like these countries are managed by fewer people than it was before.
A unit, yeah.
And the same in the world, maybe, then we have the leaders of the world, that it's only very few people that own all the world. And so like the power and the leadership, as we talked a bit about leadership today, is separated. It's separated, and it's like to more and more fewer people, but also managing a bigger scale of people. So that's why we get uniformed. Otherwise, if we keep
Uni
otherwise,
means
if we keep
unify, one to make in one, and in this form to format it into one. Yeah. Sorry, continue. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you.
No, but I mean, if you keep the differences between people, then you will need more leaders. You will need more people in charge. But maybe it's less. I don't know. Maybe it's not what people want. It's not maybe what the big leaders want.
Yeah. If you put everybody in a box, they would be easier to control. So that does makes a lot of sense.
But in one box, it's easier to put them in maybe one box than in fewer boxes, because otherwise you will need multiple leaders.
For
and
each
the problem
box,
with this, and then the problem with this is that then you can have wars. You can that did happen in the past. Like you have wars between the same differences. You create conflicts. But if you put them in one box, they are all the same. They will not be in conflict because they all have the same way of thinking and beliefs. So they will agree. No, they will be. It's very interesting what I say. Maybe it's like to keep peace, or I don't know. It's like we're brainstorming now and we are talking, and we're discussing. But maybe being able to bring peace, you need to have people that have the same kind of beliefs and being uniform. So then they cannot rebel between each other because they are part of the same tribe. So they will not fight. But because also it's a danger.
Positive or negative, because it
then
sounds
it's also a danger.
I want this. It's like, hey, maybe I do want the world to be uniform so we all get along, right?
But then it's also a danger.
Really, is that really because then who controls the uniform?
No, and also if there is only one way of seeing the world or less, then life is not so interesting, because what I find interesting is to have different cultures and different way of perceiving the world from different backgrounds. I think this is what makes it more interesting.
So I want to give an example.
I don't know, it's very interesting.
And then I will let Flo give Flo the stage as well, because I see him full of thoughts and ideas. Does anybody here know the company Unilever?
Yeah,
no. So Unilever is probably the biggest. It's a Dutch-based company. They are the biggest food supplier, producer, creator. Man, they do everything. Basically, what lever, and lever means to provide. Unilever is literally a huge mafia. Okay, I hope they're listening. A huge mafia that is buying all the food suppliers in the world and monopolizing on food production. So even, let's say, Unilever owns all the meat production that happens in Europe, but then suddenly they started to make vegan meat, like the fake meat. Guess what Unilever does? They buy the whole fake meat industry as well. So guess what? They own everything. So if you go today and look at all of the products you're buying, chances are big that the food products you will see on the label, it's by Unilever. And their main goal is to centralize all the food production chains so they can have one chain of command, but also so all the money goes up one channel, and it goes to BlackRock, it goes to these very big investment corporations. It's kind of like something, but what we have to be also aware of is that more than 90% of the products that Unilever is making is made for humans, but it's actually really bad for humans. It's products that are not really giving us health. We are more better off farming our own food than buying Unilever's food. But then again, we have to understand there are these groups of very big, intelligent people trying to unify the way we eat, the cultures we have around food, same as they're trying to unify the way we look up to people or not. And we have to understand that for being a papi is not necessarily standing in uniform. It's wearing the pink t-shirt while everybody's standing there in black and saying, no, I want to wear the pink. And I think everybody can wear whatever they think they want to wear. And it's also being a pillar that stands and stands out. Being a papi stands out as well of the crowd. So Flo, we left you out for a bit there, me and Tom went deep.
No, it's fine. I was listening and enjoying it a lot.
Is this even a podcast, or are we just having the time of our lives, guys?
Yeah, it's a very good conversation. Yeah.
I think it's really interesting what Tom mentioned before with the European Union, and the less people are leading, the less, how should I say, the less ideas, the less uniqueness is being brought into, for the example, the European Union, right? So that's why I think it's really important to question all these conditioning we went through and actually become a papi, right? To actually question your shit you're going through and your thoughts and your life in general and the decisions you make or you don't make. So you can actually become your true self, because if you're being conditioned and you are just following, like you're a sheep, you're just following other people in the black t-shirts, then what's the point of life, right? And with the climate change and all these things, if you have the black t-shirt, you are probably the person who's fucking up the planet, right? So you're not gonna save the planet. And that's why it's important to put on your pink t-shirt and think outside of the box and take responsibility for your life. And also, guess what? If you take responsibility for your own life, then you're also changing others' lives. So that's the point. That's the point of becoming a papi, being a papi. But guys, it was an amazing talk. Like I was really hooked what you were talking about, and there's a lot of debate, of course.
It's not
probably we shouldn't go into it right now, but maybe in the future, But yeah.
No, also I just want to say at the end that I am really pro Europe. It's not. It's just like I'm just observing of what's happening, and I think it's always good to be critical, to not accept everything for granted.
Indeed,
because I think it's also this is also being a papi. You know what I mean? Also being talking about the really important things. I don't mean about politics.
Yeah.
I don't mean like about. It's not really political, but it's like to understand the world, understanding the world. No, this I think it's important.
Exactly.
As a papi or as someone that wants to grow his mental or is like his intelligence in a way to understand how the world works. And it's not have to judge. No, I think it's more not about judging. It's about trying to understand how it works. Because I think it's how that's what we need to understand. Because it is important. I don't know, for me it's very interesting to try to understand how it works, like the big corporation, etc. Because also, well, just to finish, but yeah, when you uniform also people in a certain way, it's easier to predict what they will do, and it's easier to predict their behaviors. So then it's easier to sell them things and to have it's easier for marketing. No, as Nevin, for marketing you have to find your ideal client. But imagine everyone is your ideal client. Man, it's so easy. It's easy to sell. But because we have so many
level that they are creating desires. Maybe a few years ago people didn't really have certain desires or for certain food or stuff, but they are really changing the way we see things and creating new desires for us that we're like, oh, I really love this. But while it didn't exist 10 years ago, like how do you really love it, or did you get programmed and brainwashed to love it? So it's really, really a beautiful moment in life. I think the last visualization I will give around this topic, guys, as I am the man with the vision, is life is a game. Many people believe it's a battle. Life is a game, and we're all players in the game. And the papis in the game, they are the level 1,000 players in the game, the ones that are constantly working on leveling up and becoming big characters, but also see the game for what it is and play it knowing that there are bigger stakes at play. And it's not just this tiny mini micro game you're playing, but you're just playing one level today. Next year, there's a different level. In 10 years, there's a whole different level. And we need more people, more powerful players in this game to do the magic on Earth, to take care of the planet, to take care of the women, to take care of the children, to take care of the businesses. So it's like creating a new generation of not just average players, top level players that are changing the way the game is structured. This is what we need: creators, builders, hackers of this game.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how we started the podcast, right? This is how we started, like what it means to be a puppy, and it's being a leader and not being led all the time. So leading and not being led.
And you know
also, it starts with questioning.
What is beautiful? A puppy can also be led, but by another puppy. Because if you're a puppy, you're being led by any BS out there that you listen to and you believe, that's not a puppy either. So it's leading, but also knowing really good who you trust to lead you and where they're leading. You know, because even like in certain moments, I lead the conversation and then Tom leads the conversation and flow. So in between those, it doesn't mean that we are fighting who has to be in charge. We know that we all have our say in things, and also cooperating with other papis. And this is why it's not called the Papi podcast, but it's the Papis podcast. Because yeah, that's true. We're three papis in unison, and we are stronger together. Stronger than any papi out there, us three together. And this is also the power of unity. Even though we're gonna uniform, they're uniforming the world. I think it's like, let's unify the papis. Let's unify
right.
the good vibes. Let's
but just
unify
about the
leaders. Yeah.
But the unify and the uniform, when we talked, I don't say it's bad. You know, I didn't say it was negative. You have to understand it, the uniform. Because if you, let's say you have a business, or when you start a movement, or when you start, let's say, a podcast, even when we start now, we need to have uniform. People need to have an identity, as we are talking about the puppies, and then we have to uniform people, because that's how every movement is created, by having a uniform. I mean, physical uniform, but also mental uniform. And no, that's why I don't say it's bad or good, but we just have to discuss. I think it's important to discuss about the uniform, because people need the uniform also. Some people need to wear to be part of a group. No, you need it's like a human need to be socially accepted.
It's a very powerful human, one of the most powerful top needs we have, indeed, to be part of something, to be part of a unified force. Huh?
Yeah. So that's why we talk about this. I think it is very important. But that's the last thing I wanted to say. It's like, as we are creating the uniform of the puppies, or creating this movement of the puppies, what we want to say is also that you are the power to choose the uniform, and we are not here to impose it to you. And that's what we talked at the beginning about leadership. You know, like, you're here to, with respect, and here with love. We are not here to impose any uniform, which in this modern society it's a bit imposed. No, like I mean globally. I mean, in the global government, sometimes the uniform is imposed by law, or by or even by convenience. I mean, like, now, if you don't have an iPhone, or if you don't have a smartphone, you're a bit fucked up, because you have to be uniformed to have a technology. Otherwise, you cannot pay your taxes. Or now, like, even to pay your tax, etc., you need internet. So you need to. It's a bit obligated, no? But I don't say it's bad. I don't say it's bad or good. It's just as it is. So I mean, I like freedom, and I think to be able to choose, I think it's really important.
Yeah, it's just funny. We mentioned this because it happened to me like 1 hour ago before the podcast. So I'm in Madrid now, and of course I don't know Madrid. That's the first time I'm here, and for whatever reason, I had no internet, and I was in the middle of the city with my smartphone, without the internet, and I was lost, like so lost, and I was like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do now?" And you need you need internet, otherwise you can't even go home. So it's like, yeah, it's
So you kind of need to have a uniform, no? You need to kind of have this uniform to survive.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it is really powerful, man. It is. It's really interesting.
Let's end the episode, guys.
Yeah, because I feel we want to talk for
It's gonna get too long here.
But, yeah. So indeed, it was a very beautiful talk. We touched upon what it means to be a Papi and identity. You can even imagine it as a shirt we designed today for you. It's a uniform, the Papi uniform, and you can choose to wear it. But you can also choose to customize it and say, you know what, I don't really like the arm this long. Let me make it shorter. And you can customize the Papi uniform. But know that wearing this uniform, you will get noticed, you will get success, you will get more girls, you will get more money, and you will be more rich in life in all areas of your life wearing the Papi uniform. So it's coming soon. We're building on the designs. We're going to launch them officially on our e-commerce store. So you can buy the Papi uniforms. We don't know how they look yet exactly, but this is an amazing time to announce the launch of our merchandise line. All right. Yes. Brought to you by Tom.
Wait, what?
No,
we didn't even talk about
saying this without
listeners, there was a surprise.
Thank you, bro, for
that even the Papis didn't know, but now we are launching our own clothing brand. Yes, the Papis.
and then we are launching our own vegan fake meat brand too, so we can sell it to Unilever.
No, we're not gonna let Unilever buy the right people. We're gonna go against it. We're gonna stand strong. Pink Papi shirts. And beat our chest.
Thank you.
It was a beautiful podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and please leave feedback, comments. As this was a bit different. We talked about many things, and so please give us some feedback.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment,
and also tips, ideas, suggestions, feedback, both critical and also positive. It all helps because we are basically on a ship that we've never been on before. And if you can help us steer and guide and give us ideas and guidance, hey, we are all here listening. All right. That's also a Papi is an amazing listener. So we are all ears. Send it our way. Thank you.
Thank you.